स वै तथैव प्रतिपादितं गिरम् दैवीं परित्यात परात्मनिर्णयः तं भक्तिभावो अभ्यग्रणात् असत्वरम् परिश्रुतो ऊरु सर्वसं ध्रुवक्षिदिः स वै तथैव प्रतिपादितं गिरम् दैवं परित्यात परात्मनिर्णयः तं भक्तिभावो अभ्यग्रणात् असत्वरम् परिश्रुतो ऊरुस्रवसं ध्रुवक्षिदिः स वै तथैव प्रतिपादितं गिरम् दैवं परित्यात परात्मनिर्णयः तं भक्तिभावो अभ्यग्रणात् असत्वरम् परिश्रुतो ऊरुस्रवसं ध्रुवक्षिदिः. Thank you. Anybody wants to try? Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, please.
Savai tadaiva pratipaditam giram doivim purigyata paratmanirnaya tam bhakti bhavoyabhyanakrinata sattaram parishrutaru shavasam dhuvakshiti. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Anyone else?
Prabhuji, can I try?
Please go ahead.
Savai tadaiva pratipaditam giram daiving parigyata paratmanirnaya tam bhakti bhavojyogrinat asaktaram parishrutaru sravasam dhravakshitihi. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you.
Krishna,
Anyone
Prabhu.
else?
Hare Krishna,
Please.
Prabhu. I am trying.
Please. Go ahead.
Savai tadaiva pratipaditam daiving parigyata paratmanirnaya tang bhakti bhavo abhayagrinat sattaram parishrito urusravasam dhruvakshitihi.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Thank you, Mataji. Anyone else? Shall we go to the word by word meaning? Saha Dhruva Maharaja, why certainly, tada at that time, eva just, pratipaditam, having attained, giram speech, daivim transcendental, paritnyata understood, para atma of the supreme soul, nirnayaha the conclusion, tam to the Lord, bhakti bhavaha situated in devotional service, abhyagranat offered prayers, asatvaram without any hasty conclusion, parisruta widely open, urusravasam whose fame, dhruvachidihi dhruva whose planet would not be annihilated. Anybody wants to read the translation, please?
Yes, I can try.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
At that time, Dhruva Maharaja became perfectly aware of the Vedic conclusion and understood the absolute truth and his relationship with all living entities. In accordance with the line of devotional service to the Supreme Lord, whose fame is widespread, Dhruva, who in the future would receive a planet which would never be annihilated, even during the time of dissolution, offered his deliberate and conclusive prayers.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hari.
Anybody want to share the purport?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Please go ahead, Mataji.
There are many important items to be considered in this verse. First of all, the relationship between the absolute truth and the relative material and spiritual energies is here understood by a student who has complete knowledge of Vedic literature. Dhruva Maharaj never went to any school or academic teacher to learn the Vedic conclusion. But because of his devotional service to the Lord, as soon as the Lord appeared and touched his forehead with his conch shell, automatically the entire Vedic conclusion was revealed to him. That is the process of understanding Vedic literature. One cannot understand it simply by academic learning. The Vedas indicate that only to one who has unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord as well as in the spiritual master, is the Vedic conclusion revealed.
Yeah. Please carry on.
The
Next.
example,
Yeah.
The example of Dhruva Maharaj is that he engaged himself in devotional service to the Lord according to the order of the spiritual master Narad Muni. As a result of his rendering such devotional service with great determination and austerity, the personality of Godhead personally manifested himself before him. Dhruva was only a child. He wanted to offer nice prayers to the Lord, but because he lacked sufficient knowledge, he hesitated. But by the mercy of the Lord, as soon as the Lord's conch shell touched his forehead, he became completely aware of the Vedic conclusion. That conclusion is based on proper understanding of the difference between Jiva and Paramatma. The individual soul, the super soul. The individual soul is forever a servant of the super soul, and therefore his relationship with the super soul is to offer service. This is called Bhakti Yoga or the Bhakti Bhava. Dhruva Maharaj offered his prayer to the Lord not in the way of the impersonal philosophers, but as a devotee. Therefore, it is clearly said here, Bhakti Bhava. The only prayer worth offering are those offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose reputation is spread far and wide. Dhruva Maharaj wanted to have the kingdom of his father, but his father refused even to allow him to get on his lap. In order to fulfill his desire, the Lord had already created a planet known as the pole star, Dhruvaloka, which was never to be annihilated, even at the time of dissolution of the universe. Dhruva Maharaj attained this perfection not by acting hastily, but by patiently executing the order of his spiritual master. And therefore, he became so successful that he saw the Lord face to face. Now he was further enabled by the causeless mercy of the Lord to offer fitting prayers to the Lord, to glorify or offer prayers to the Supreme. One needs the Lord's mercy. One cannot try to glorify the Lord unless one is endowed with his causeless mercy. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Such a wonderful purport by Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jana Salakaya Chachurut Milidam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapatantikam Vandegam Sri Guru Sri Yudapatakamallam Sri Gurum Vaishnavancha Sri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagagana Lalitam Sri Visakam Vitancha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namostude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sudhe Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhudale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Prajarine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachatya Deshatharine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text number 5. Savaita Deva Pradipaditam Giram Devim Parijnata Paratma Nirnayaha Tvam Bhakti Bhavo Abhyagranat Asatvaram Parisruto Uru Sravasam Dhruvakshidihi. We have already seen in the previous verses that Lord has appeared in front of Dhruva Maharaj, and Dhruva Maharaj was constantly observing the form of the Lord In the meantime, Dhruva Maharaja has developed 8 kinds of ecstasies in his body, as we can see from the earlier verses. 8 kinds of spiritual ecstasies in his body. In this particular purport, Prabhupada clearly explains how Dhruva Maharaja came to self-realization and how he became aware of the Vedic conclusion by the mercy of the Lord. Prabhupada explains in the purport, the Lord touches the forehead of Dhruva Maharaja by his conch shell. Lord touches Dhruva Maharaja's forehead, which is conch shell. Here we can see that conch shell signifies the pure knowledge. Conch shell is Visuddha Sattva form. So he touches Dhruva Maharaja's forehead with his conch shell. The conch shell signifies the pure knowledge. Tesham ivana kampartam aham ajnana jam tabha nyasayami atma bhavastu jnanadipena bhaswadaha. Lord says in Bhagavad Gita in the Chatusloki, I dispel the ignorance of darkness with the shining lamp of knowledge. Tesham ivana kampartam aham ajnana jam tabha nyasayami atma bhavastu jnanadipena bhaswadaha. The same thing has happened to Dhruva Maharaj. He has touched his forehead with his conch shell. So he came into this realization, self-realization, Dhruva Maharaj. It also reminds that we find that in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, first verse, Tene Brahmahrideya Adikavaya Mukhyandi Yat Surayaha. It is Lord Vishnu who has imparted Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahmaji, in the heart of Brahmadev. You can see the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadiyasya. So he can say that, we can say that Tene Brahmahrideya Adikavaya Mukhyandi Asura. Tene Brahmahrideya. This I, Brahmahrideya, the Vedic knowledge, Hridaya of in the heart of Adikavaya. Adikavaya is the first living entity into the universe. I have impregnated the Vedic knowledge into the heart of Brahma. So the same similar situation is happening here. So with the touch of conch shell, all his subtle elements in his body, that is subtle elements in his body like intelligence, mind and false ego, get purified. So Dhruva Maharaja, all subtle elements get purified by the touch of the conch shell, by the Lord. Whereas Dhruva Maharaja wanted to glorify the Lord. First he wanted to glorify the Lord as he saw the Lord after observing his form. He wanted to glorify. But he was cheated by his lack of knowledge. He doesn't have the knowledge to glorify the Lord. So as soon as Lord understood his position, then he touches his forehead. So he came into the conclusion that all the Vedic knowledge by the touch of the conch shell. We may also find a similar situation in the case of Prahlad Maharaja, because we should always compare these two elevated devotees of the Lord as and when we get the opportunity. In the case of Prahlad Maharaj, we have seen that after killing Hiranyakashipu, Lord Narasimhadev is occupying the seat of the throne of Hiranyakashipu. At the time, all the demigods assembled there, offered prayers to Lord Narasimhadev to pacify him. But in spite of all their prayers, Narasimhadev was still is not pacified. He was always in an aggressive mood. So all the demigods had requested Prahlad Maharaj to pacify the Lord Narasimhadev, including the goddess Lakshmi. The similar thing has happened in the case of Dhruva Maharaj also. So when Prahlad Maharaj was asked to pacify the Lord, he see the Lord and offer his prayer. Kim toshtum arhadi same harihi ugrajadaha. Kim toshtum arhadi same harihi ugrajadaha. Oh Lord, I am born in a demoniac family. I am born in a demoniac family. I don't have words to describe you. That's what Prahlad Maharaj saw as soon as he started his prayers, as soon as he saw the Narasimhadev. Kim toshtum arhadi same harihi ugrajadaha. Ugrajada means I am born in a very demoniac family. As soon as Lord heard this prayer of Prahlad Maharaja, he touches his forehead. Oh, Narasimhadev touches the forehead of Prahlad Maharaja. Then Prahlad Maharaja says, Naham bibemi. Naham bibemi. Ajita je adibhayanaka asaya. Naham bibemi. Ajita je na adibhayanaka asaya. Oh my Lord, you are unconquerable one. You are unconquerable one. I am not afraid of your ferocious form. That's what he starts with prayers, Prahlad Maharaj. So as soon as Lord touches, Narasimhadev touches his forehead, he came to the conclusion of all the Vedic literatures and started glorifying the Lord. Here, as soon as Lord touches the forehead of Dhruva Maharaja with his conscience, he came to the conclusion that what is my position, that is his position. What is his position? His position is a servant of the master. So Dhruva Maharaj come to the conclusion that I am the servant of the Lord. So I am the servant of the Lord, and my ultimate aim is to serve the Lord. So you can say that the service is the only linking factor. Service is the only linking factor between the Lord and the living entity. There is no other relationship between Lord and living entities. Service is the only linking factor that is the only linking factor between the living entities and the Lord. So as soon as he came to the conclusion, he understood what is his position. He started his prayers with Tvam aste nitya rupa parisuddha vibhudatma. Tvam nitya mukta parisuddha vibhudatma kutasta adumso Bhagavan tri adasakha. That he started his prayers with that and glorified the Lord. So as soon as the service is concerned, Lord says in the 18th chapter, 55th verse, Bhaktyamam abhijanati navanyatswami tatvaraha tadodam jnatuloditya vishadetat anantaram. Those who understand me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by this pure devotional service, can enter into the kingdom of God. There is no other way you can establish the relationship with the Lord, only through the pure devotional service. There is no other way the living entity can establish his relationship with the Lord, only through the pure devotional service. So here, Dhruva Maharaja is seeing the Lord in front of him. Dhruva Maharaja has reached the stage of asakti. Asakti is the stage where there are no desires. except the desire to serve the Lord. This is the stages of the bhakti, that Ado Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivarti, Nishtha Ruji, Asakti. You have come to that stage. Only at the stage of Asakti, you can see Lord face to face. That's what Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Devotion. Only at the stage of Asakti, but there is no desire. You have no desire except to serve the Lord. We can also refer the Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter, 71 verse. 71st verse is around. That says that a person who has given up all the desires and lives free from the desires, and who has given up the sense of proprietorship, can attain Dushantam Adhigacchati. He can attain the peace. So Dhruva Maharaja has reached that stage of Asakti where he is seeing Lord face to face. You cannot see the Lord unless you reach the stage of Asakti. From the Asakti, you go to Bhava and Prema. That is the gopis of the Vrindavan. That is the gopis of the Vrindavan. Now, if you compare these two elevated devotees, extraordinarily elevated devotees, Dhruva Maharaja and the Prahlad Maharaja, there is a small difference between these two. There are two kinds of elevated devotees. One is called the Sadhya Siddha and another is Kripa Siddha. Sadhya Siddha and Kripa Siddha. Sadhya Siddha is the one who, after performing austerities as per the guidance of the spiritual master, he attains the stage of pure devotional service. And another devotee is, elevated devotee is Kripa Siddha. Kripa Siddha means the person with pure mercy of the Lord and spiritual master. He need not he would not have undergone any austerities. That is called Kripa Siddhi, and he has attained pure devotional service. Dhruva Maharaja is Sadhya Siddha, Prahlad Maharaja is Kripa Siddha. Prahlad Maharaja has the mercy of the Lord and the spiritual master when he was in the womb of his mother Kayatu. Whereas Dhruva Maharaja attained the Siddha only after the instructions he received from Narada Muni and performing all the austerities, he attained the Siddha, attained the perfect devotional service. So this is the slight difference between these two devotees. And Prabhupada also explains that one who has unflinching faith in the Supreme Lord and his spiritual master, the Vedic conclusion will be revealed. As already mentioned, it's Swadhara Upanishad. Yasya Deva Parava Bhakti Yada Deva Tada Guru Tasya Gite Karidaha Artaha Prahasante Mahatmana. Prahasante Mahatmana. One cannot understand simply by academic learning. One cannot simply understand by academic learning. You can also say there is a difference between Prahlad Maharaja, when Dhruva Maharaja wanted to glorify the Lord, he is having a lack of knowledge to describe the Lord, because Prabhupada said he has not gone to any school to study the Vedic knowledge. And whereas Prahlad Maharaja, even at this stage of, he has instructing all the students, co-students in the schools of Sukracharya about the absolute truth. So that's a slight difference between Dhruva Maharaja and Prahlad Maharaja. That is the Kripa Siddhi of Prahlad Maharaja. But it does not, we cannot differentiate between this, but this is the pure mercy of the Lord. Because of the mercy of the Lord, these are exalted devotees. These are exalted devotees. Prahlad Maharaj is one of the Mahajan. Like that. So he has already reached the stage of asakti, there whereby he could see the Lord in person. And as I already told you, the service is the only linking factor between the Lord and the living entity. And Prabhupada emphasized that. The example of Dhruva Maharaja is that he engaged himself in the devotional service to the Lord according to the order of his spiritual master. As a result of his entering such devotional service with great determination and austerity, the personality of Godhead manifested himself before him. Because of the austerities and the he has performed, the Lord has appeared before him. Now this is Sadhya Siddha. At the stage of asakti, he has no desires. As you know that Dhruva Maharaja has come with lot of desires. What are the desires? To attain a kingdom which is greater than his forefather or great-grandfather. Isn't it? With that intention, he has come to the forest to see the Lord. Now, as soon as he saw the Lord, all his desires has been vanished. He has only one desire, to serve the Lord. All his material desires has gone by the touch of the Lord, by his conscience. All his intelligence, mind, ego, everything got purified. All subtle matters get purified. Therefore, he has no desire at all, except to serve the Lord, and he has attained the stage of asakti. So, uncontaminated desire. No other material desire. No material desire for it. As a result of his rendering such pure devotional service with great determination and austerity, the personality of Godhead manifested himself before him. He wanted to offer nice prayers to Lord, but because lack of sufficient knowledge, he hesitated. As soon as he hesitated, Lord knows his intention to glorify him, so he touches his forehead. Lord is so merciful, so merciful. But only thing, we should have the endeavor to do the devotional service. God will definitely help you. As you approach, I will reward you. As you approach me, I will reward you. And Prabhupada concludes this purport saying that to glorify or offer prayers unto the Supreme, one needs the Lord's full mercy. One cannot write to glorify our Lord unless one is endowed with his causeless mercy. Yes, sure, that's there. You must have the mercy of the Lord and your spiritual master to glorify the Lord. Whatever you do, but all your aspiration will go waste unless you have the mercy of the Lord and your spiritual master. So how important is our Guru? How important is the Guru Tattva? How important is the spiritual master in your life to connect you with the Lord? Is also mentioned by Prabhupada in this purport. It is not that just seeing the Lord, just seeing doing the prayers or just doing the service, but how important to understand the Guru Tattva. How important it is to understand the Guru Tattva and offer your prayers. Automatically, all your endeavors will be fulfilled by the mercy of the Lord. That's what the entire purport concludes that. Dhruva Maharaja has not gone to any school for learning because he was only 5-year-old. He has not even started his academic career. Any Vidya, Shastra Vidya, that Vidya, no, he has not learned anything. He is about to about to learn something in his life. But that turned him towards the devotional service towards Lord's before. So Lord was so merciful to encourage him to put him into the pure devotional service with the help of his spiritual master, Narada Muni. Savaitadeva paridipaditam giram devam parijnata paratma nirnayaha tam bhakti bhavo abhyagranat asatvaram parisruto uru sravasam dhruvachidihi. Thank you very much. Anybody has any questions, any comments, or any additions, please. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Pranam. Thank you for a very nice class. Such a good comparison between Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj.
Thank you,
Yes.
Prabhu.
So you were saying that Prahlad Maharaj achieved the Lord through Kripa Siddhi. So
Yes.
and because he was blessed while he was in the womb of his father.
Yes.
So any,
Whereas Dhruva Maharaj is Sadhya Siddha. He has undergone the austerities and attained the self-realization.
it's amazing. Dhruva Maharaj did not go to any school, and
Yeah.
but he still attained this.
Yes.
Just by,
Yeah.
just by the touch of the concha of the Lord, he got
Yeah.
he got all the conclusion of the Vedic literature.
Yes.
So is there something for us to learn? I mean, if you have implicit faith in the Guru and Krishna, even if you are not, don't have any Vedic knowledge, you can still attain.
His idea of going to the forest is to ask for the Lord why I should not sit on the lap of my father. I should get a kingdom which is more greater than my great grandfather. So that's the intention. He went to the forest. No. With all the desires, he went to the forest. All his desires have been smashed by the spiritual master and by the Supreme Lord.
So initially, somebody can start with some ulterior motive or material desire, but then Lord purified that desire.
Yes, definitely. But he has the great intention or great endeavor to serve the Lord. Then definitely all the material things will be smashed out.
Okay.
That's what Lord says. I will take away all your material opulences. If you come to me, I will take away all your material opulences.
Wow.
So sometimes people feel that we are being taken away by the Lord, by all the material opulences. No, but that is the process that Lord giving to the pure devotees.
It's very nice.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
I just remember one thing. Our sorry, Prabhuji, the sound is not good. Our Srila Prabhupada has followed the same principle. He has a lot of opulences when he started this movement.
Yes.
Slowly and steadily, all the opulences is gone. And he
Yeah,
became
yes.
in such a condition. He was no other way to choose this line, and he proceeded to the highest form.
Yes.
That shows and the other thing Prabhupada was telling about that your material knowledge is not important. What is important?
No.
That's why you don't need to be a scholar to understand Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. What your importance is your dedication. Your dedication, intention, and that dedication intention will intensify your love for God. Once that connection meets, then you will always be merciful and the mercy will start flowing.
Correct. Yes. Sure.
That's right. 10-10 Bhagavad Gita says the same thing. Yeah, right? Thank you.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu.
Another, sorry, Mataji, go ahead.
No. Thank you, Prabhu. I learned a new thing about the significance of conch shell today. I didn't know earlier.
No, because the Lord's conch shell signifies the knowledge.
Yes.
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 Of course, the the entire, all the paraphernalia of the Lord is full of knowledge only.
Yes.
But especially this conch shell is the signifies the knowledge. Actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, that's I came to know today. I didn't know earlier. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji.
Another interesting point is that the Lord awarded him Dhruva Loka, which is
Yes, pole star, which cannot be annihilated. See, there is an annihilation of the Nitya Pralaya and the Mahapralaya and all that. So Nitya Pralaya, that's a stage where the Brahmadev is the night starts. No, with when Brahmadeva's night starts, all the universes get annihilated except pole star. When in the Mahapralaya, everything will goes into the body of the Mahavishnu. So here, Prabhupada particularly say that during the time of dissolution is during the time of Nitya Pralaya. That the Pralaya that takes place at the end of the day of Brahma. That when the day of Brahma, when all the 14 Manus are come in and appeared, and at the end of this one, that is the dissolution happens. So at the end of the dissolution of the day of the Brahma, all the universe will be dissolved. So only pole star will remain.
So the pole star also remain doing after the Mahapralaya? Or?
No. Because by that time, the Dhruva Maharaja's is the lifespan period will be over and he will go back to Godhead. He will go home back to Godhead.
So initially he did not go to Godhead when he achieved.
No. That's why he has given a position of pole star from where he rules the entire universe. He rules the entire universe from the pole star. Now at the end of Mahapralaya, he go back to Godhead.
So that was his desire. He wanted to have a...
That is the end of the Brahma's life. That is the end of Brahma's life.
100 years of Brahma's life.
Yes.
Okay.
That's why Lord have put him in the position which is more it's more advantageous than the Brahma's position. He was asking for that, and Lord has given him that position.
So nice.
So at the end of Mahapralaya, everything will go into the body of the Virat Roop. And again creation starts.
Also, if you can clarify this, Prabhupada here mentioned that Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers not like the impersonalist philosophers, but as a devotee. So in what way the impersonalist philosophers offer prayer? Do they offer prayers at all, or they just read Vedas?
Now, Prahlad Maharaj offered prayers because he has learned the Vedic conclusion when he was in the mother's womb. But as soon as he saw the form of the Lord, he was little taken aback. Not he was afraid, but that form of the Lord, which was rare to see, that form of the Lord is rare to see. That's why he wanted to particularly describe the Lord in that form. That's why he was not unable to do that. That's why Lord touches his forehead with his hand of Prahlad Maharaja. Then he started.
Okay.
So he shows that Kim Toshadam Marhaji Same Hari Bugra Jadaha. Then Lord shows his mercy, saying that he says that Naham Bibemi. I am not afraid. Naham Bibemi Ajita Jay, all unconquerable one. Adi Bhayanaka Asaya. I am not afraid of your fearful form. Then he explains what is this, the paraphernalia and all. He started explaining. Prahlad Maharaj.
So do the impersonalists who don't believe in the form of the Lord, how do they offer? I mean, they just recite Vedic hymns, or Prabhupada says...
Vedic hymns. Vedic hymns. See, whatever Prahlad Maharaj says is a Vedic hymn. No?
Okay.
Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Vadasevanam, these are all Vedic scheme actually. Because the Vedic scheme has been given by the Lord through the touch of his hand. Through the touch of his hand. All the hymns, all the conclusion has been given to him. And to the touch of conscience, all the Vedic conclusion has been given to him. With the pranava mantra, everything has been given to him. And also in the case of Brahma, all the pranava mantra started with him, all the Gayatri mantra, pranava mantra, everything has been given to him. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaya Mukhyanti Yasuraya. No, in the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that.
Thank you, Prabhu. Such good explanation. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
Anybody get any reflection, comments before we end? No. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Prabhu, for giving this opportunity.
All
His guys, Vaikunteswara Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Patidanam Pavanebhyo
Vaishnava Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai.
God can carry his book.